Oh my God, we're live.
Going live.
Finally, we're back again. Oh man, this is the perfect subject for a live show. We haven't done a live show in many months, but we've just watched Phantasm Ravager, the latest installment, the 5th movie in the Phantasm series.
Yeah, the best one. It's so good. The best one.
Oh man, just a movie that just. Well, I don't know. It seems like you have some very strong opinions about it. Like,
well, I guess we could start with the fact that it completely fucking sucks. It's terrible.
It sucks.
It's terrible. It fucking is. It's like the Halloween resurrection of the Phantasm franchise. It's fucking horrible. It's terrible. They shouldn't have even made the movie. It's really that bad. And I'm not like, a hater, like looking to hate on it. I love the Phantasm franchise. So I feel like I can speak, if anyone can speak, about being a fan of the series, but it's just a fucking movie of watching Reggie walking around corners and walking down corridors, and then, suspense, nothing happens. He just walks around a corner, and it's like, every now and then you might get some like one of the little like fucking demon dwarfs running behind him, but nothing fucking happens. And it's just like watching paint dry. It's terrible. I mean, you can tell that the way that they shot this, it just seemed like it could have been a 15-minute fan film that somebody just threw up on YouTube. It really was that bad.
It feels like a fan film. I mean, it really does. I mean, the idea that this film developed from a series of webisodes of some kind of internet series kind of makes sense. And it's like, how long have they been making it? Because another review, one of the few reviews I've seen on YouTube, mentions that there's a sticker, an oil sticker for 1909, like 2009. Like they've been shooting it for almost a decade.
Yeah, just piecing it together over the years.
Piecing it together.
Yeah.
And parts of it visually just don't. I mean, the stuff with Reggie. Walking around outside, it looks horrible. It looks like shit. It just and then remember that beginning, the thing at the beginning where he's just walking, and then it's like they found a dilapidated house on the side of the road and just like a shack. Hey man, it's a scene. We got a scene right here. Get a teddy bear.
Yeah, I got a little worried when about 10 minutes into the movie, and it's just still this just walking around. If he's not walking around corridors. He's just walking around. They get walking out. The fucking movie starts with a shot of him it's like a 2-minute shot of him walking towards the camera from like deep in the desert towards the camera. And I'm like, okay, well, you just feel like, let's speed the shit up. Like, where are we going with this? It's like sitting and listening to someone who's boring conversationally, and you're just waiting for them to shut up, or you want to fucking cut their throat because they're so frustratingly annoying.
A shot that, by the way, is repeated at the very end of the film. We have to watch parts of his emergence from desert again, in that horrible montage. What did you think about that montage at the very end with the part, the little shots from Phantasm 1 and mixing it in?
I thought we'd go through it because it wouldn't take a whole hell of a lot to go starting from the beginning and kind of going through it instead of just hopping to the end.
Yeah.
If you'd like to do it that way. You kind of started things.
Well, this movie is mixed up and is a mess, is a non-linear mess. Why does the review have to make sense?
Well, that's true.
Well, but yeah, let's start from the beginning. So the film picks up right after the events of Phantasm 4, which I only saw, about a year ago, and I really enjoyed Phantasm Oblivion. But it picks up directly after that with Reggie kind of in tatters in the desert, walking out, and stuff happens to him.
Yeah, he walks around for about 10 minutes, and then the Himikuda shows up driving.
Shows up.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, and there's like a sort of brief comedic moment with the guy who's driving that vehicle, and it really is kind of like falls flat, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. So he moves along and he meets like this character named Dawn, this redheaded chick, and of course, in Reggie fashion, he's going to pick her up, and you're just waiting for him to like hook up with her because Reggie's always doing that with these chicks. And then nothing happens there. he goes to her farmhouse, and
the farmhouse reminded me of the house at the beginning in Phantasm 1, didn't it? It was, or was I kind of way off? Sitting by the fire, and
I think it was on purpose.
And also, kind of going back to Coscarelli, how he wrote Phantasm is he went into the woods and he went into a cabin and he wrote. I don't know if you. He must have spent weeks there, and it almost reminds me of that. That's almost where he. I'm getting too cerebral with this, but anyway. So and then we have.
He must have spent about maybe 10 minutes writing this script, if that's what happened.
He wrote this script in like fucking Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Whataburger. He was in Whataburger with William Catt after Pensacon.
Yeah, with Mike Dawson. But then he had a little cameo by Daniel Roebuck. That it's a pretty big actor who plays the fucking farmhand there. Did you
He looked familiar.
That? Yeah.
I don't know. I was starting to feel the sickness emanating at that point.
Yes. I think I'll need to crack my Bud Light here. This is a kind of a neutered metallic, as neutered and as metallic as Phantasm. I can't come up with anything better. Slade.
I needed a beer to get through this. I mean, like a really strong. I'm drinking like a 211 Steel Reserve. They're like 9% alcohol. I like chugged one of those down when I was about the halfway part of this film because
really.
Yeah, I mean, I needed something to get me through because for fuck's sake, I'm like looking at the screen and I'm like, fuck, something happened. Just something happened. Something.
Yeah. So I was feeling the exact same thing. I mean, the beginning of the film is just so boring. It's just like you're in this place of utter boredom of just watching this guy walk. And the movie's not that long. It's only 86 minutes, and everything is just drawn out. Yeah. Imagine.
I was worried I'd be disappointed that they actually would not have a film that was long enough. Like I would be like disappointed that it wouldn't be long enough. And I'm like, holy shit, I got out of that like it was a root canal or something.
Oh my God.
I couldn't wait for the credits to roll on that bitch fast enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a root canal on Friday actually, and I think I'm looking forward to that more so than fucking Phantasm.
Holy shit.
God. Oh my God. So I mean, and then the film starts off at this beginning of this kind of walking, and then the story begins kind of, and I guess it's like this idea of these parallel storylines begin to emerge. This idea of Reggie in the desert, Reggie in a post-apocalyptic future where the phantasm spheres and the tall men have lain waste to the world.
Dystopian, dystopian future, yes.
This kind of dystopian, post-apocalyptic, scorched earth type future, and then the present of Reggie in a nursing home, dying of dementia. So it kind of ping pongs back and forth between these like some kind of spastic fan service version of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty or something like that. I mean, it's just I don't know. Phantasm is a whole series full of leaps of logic and dream logic and non-linear type of all kinds of stuff. But I don't. This seems to have a different type of vibe to it. It kind of. I don't know. What did you think about that?
To quote one of our buddies, I'd say it's a piece of shit.
oh my, yeah, Dead Pit. I mean, what the hell? What kind of review would Dead Pit give to it? I mean,
I don't know. I'm friends with Wes on Facebook, and I'm kind of curious to see what he says about it, because I did post something on my Facebook and said that I was terribly disappointed in it. And I know Wes is a big fan of Phantasm, so I'd like to see what he says.
Well, it's disappointment. I mean, the thing premiered last week here in Austin at the Fantastic Fest, and I know, I think Michael Baldwin lives in Austin, and
well, he better get the fuck out of there, because he's gonna come burn his house down. This fucking fucking sucked.
Oh my God, no! But and I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of back patting and patting on the back, and oh my God, it's great. A lot of oh wow, what a great.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reality of it is just so. And the tall man, he's in there for like 5 minutes. His performance is he's just like standing still for the entire. It's obvious that they shot Angus Scrimm like on a green screen. That they green screened his entire performance. His performance stand still.
There was really one really rather good scene with Angus Scrimm where he was portraying the is it Jeremiah or Jebediah? One of the two. Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah.
Jedediah, I believe.
Jedediah, whatever the fuck his name is. He's portraying that.
And I didn't. And at the beginning of the film, the whole recap, the fact that he was a scientist, I didn't even understand that from Phantasm 4. I must have been out of my mind. But anyway.
Well, they had a scene between he and Reggie where he was portraying the Jedediah character. And he was like warning him, "Hey, they bring you here to kill you and whatever." And it's the whole
that was so good.
The whole ongoing thing that was going with the storyline was Reggie was dealing with these things in his psyche that I'm sitting here stammering because I don't know how to fucking talk about how shitty this movie is. I mean, it's like
I know
they basically relegate the whole series to just being Reggie's dementia.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get to that. Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, we can get to that the more we go through this. But I mean, I have to tackle it in pieces because it sucks so bad.
It's just you're trying to unpack it in your mind. Just trying not to kind of quell the rage. But I was right that. But I mean, I think you're right. That was probably one of the best scenes in the film. That scene with Jedediah and like in the hospital room or the room. But I almost feel that looked like an outtake from Phantasm Oblivion, from Phantasm 4, because Angus Scrimm looked way different in that scene.
I know what watching this movie reminds me of, actually, and it kind of harkens back to one of our casts we did like a few years back. I was waiting for Mademoiselle to show up and like fucking skin me, like I was in Martyrs watching this shit. I thought I was gonna see the transference over to like the other side because it was such torture.
Yeah. You were gonna have this vision of hell, the vision, which is Phantasm. Oh my God!
I mean, at least in hell, something would be going on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe this is what hell is. Maybe it's like you're in a room.
Well, and the tall man's not even.
Phantasm Ravager.
The tall man's not even threatening in this movie. He's just like, it's almost like he's buddies with Reggie all of a sudden. He's like, hey, I can help you out as long as you help me out. Just just look the other way. And I mean, it's not even concrete what the fuck the plan was that was going to go on. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. I mean, there was a glimmer of hope, when kind of Reggie wakes up, and he's in the room and there's that like fish tank full of spheres. And I thought, oh man, okay, now the first part of the movie's been a hallucination. And now I'm just going to, because Reggie has been like in like cold storage for like 5 years, apparently, supposedly. And then they just, whatever. Whatever. Yeah. But then there's that scene where they go out and they see that horrible CGI vista of the scorched earth, and that horrible thing. And then it zooms in onto the nursing home and you see Reggie's little frightened face peek out and you're like, no, No, don't go back to the real world. Don't go back to that. Jesus. You know?
I mean, we got the original. We've got the original actors that played Mike and Jody in this, which was cool to see. But it might actually make more sense. Lavender. Yeah, it might make more sense if we actually disclose what occurred at the ending. But because it would kind of make sense more of what we're talking about why it's hopping around. But Reggie, well, like you said, Reggie's dying. Well, he's suffering from dementia. He's dying from something, age-related or whatever. That's degradation. But the thing is, at the very end, the way that the film ends is it's basically telling you that Jody and Mike are there sitting by his bedside, and he's dying. He's got his last breath. And it's basically telling you that this whole series was like one big dream. It was like a hallucination, kind of a la Bob Newhart show, where he just wakes up and it's all been a dream. And it's just lazy fucking a lazy way to end this great series. Fuck him. Fuck Don Coscarelli. And shame on him. Shame on him because he had complete control over this movie. And I mean, how many people, it's not like they just chucked this over to a bunch of fucking assholes at some shitty movie studio and they just fucked around with it and fucked it up. Fuck Don Coscarelli. I mean, personally, fuck him. He shit on the fans with this lazy-minded, terribly written, boring piece of shit that he shat out on the fan base. It's horrible. I mean, I'm upset. I'm mad at it. I shouldn't be mad. I should just say it sucked. I mean, how do you work on a movie this long and it's that bad?
You know, they had what did they have? They had, Angus Scrimm in front of his green screen probably doing some lines. They had this, they had that. They tried to put it together. I don't know. Are we sure that Angus Scrimm didn't fucking take his own life before this movie came out so that he wouldn't have to listen to how shitty the reviews were? That's like in Psychomania. That guy, remember Psychomania? You heard about Psychomania? The guy who was in that, who saw the movie and then killed himself right after he saw it. George Sanders. He watched Psychomania. Oh God, we're laughing over suicide. It's not.
Well, this must have been worse because he didn't even wait around for the premiere. He just fucking ended it. I mean, it's really bad. It's really bad.
Siri, just listen to me.
Siri was telling you it sucked.
I know.
Were you doing Siri like how can I end my life? Various ways of doing that would be like a relief from watching this film. It's really terrible. I had so much more to talk. I'm losing my train of thought, though. I don't know. This movie just makes you lose your train of thought. It's just like Reggie.
I mean, the whole Newhart ending. That type of it was all a dream ending. It's in some ways such a cop out. I mean, I thought the ending of 4, which was kind of like tacking on the alternate endings of 1 and doing it all, it was so poetic and beautiful. And again, you're right. This doesn't, I don't know, there's something about this movie that doesn't even deserve to be the ending of the Phantasm films,
I mean, I know that I'm going a bit over the top, for comedic value. I really am honestly disgusted with the movie, though. I mean, I'm making a joke out of it, but I mean, I really am so disappointed. In honesty, I really feel like this is, it's almost demeaning to the fans for him to have put out a film with an ending like that, where it's there's just nothing, there's no substance behind that sort of ending with this. I mean, I thought that we were going to go somewhere when maybe the tall man encountered Reggie in the white room and was giving him a choice. And in the background, you could see he's like, well, in this dimension, it's 1979. I thought we were going to play with time in that kind of way, where he was going to go through the time portals and pop into different areas. I didn't think it would take 45 minutes of the fucking movie for him just walking down corridors. I thought he'd pop in.
I mean, that was like in 4, where we go back and we see the origins of Jedediah, and how the tall man became the tall man, and that was really kind of cool, and the fact that old woman was like his wife, and somehow you remember. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've probably seen that many years ago, but
yeah.
that was some cool stuff, and that kind of time traveling. There's nothing in this film. I mean, I think you're right. Very poor writing. I mean, just very slapped together. Where is it going? And I thought halfway through, it's okay. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be all these like parallel movies, like 2 or 3 movies going on at the same time. It didn't work though. I don't know.
It seemed like he was trying too hard to be big budget, and it was very clearly shot as a low budget film. I've seen low budget movies that are excellent. I mean, Phantasm was a low budget movie.
Yeah.
But just like with Halloween and with some of these low budget films, they work best when they're low budget because the creativity has to be so much better, the writing, all of that. This was just like, let's construct a reason why we've got like a sphere the size of like a house or larger flying in the air, because it would be a great visual. And that's it. And in the trailer, they're showing all these giant spheres destroying buildings and shit. That occurs in like a 2-second part of the movie, and that's it. And it's like 1 2-second clip. They're making it like this is going to be an epic, like, holy shit. And in a lot of ways, it's actually the smallest feeling, lowest budget, shit feeling film of the whole series. It's supposed to be epic.
Yeah. I mean, it feels cheaper than the original Phantasm, really.
And the original is a classic. It's brilliant. It's great. But that's the point, is they're working with what they had, and they made it like an ethereal, nightmarish, fun film. But it's like these horror films, when they get big budget, they just start to suck.
Yeah, I mean, Phantasm 2 was relatively larger budget, and I mean, I thought that was a good film. Phantasm 3 was a direct-to-video type of thing, but even looking back on that, that's like Citizen Kane compared to Phantasm Ravager. and Phantasm 4 was like a weird movie. It was like these people running around the desert and this kind of surreal stuff, and demonic policemen and spheres coming out of heads and shit exploding and
to pick up on that point, you and I talked briefly before we started this cast, just like bullshitting on the phone for a couple of minutes about what our thoughts were. But one of the points I made was, you had some deaths via the spear drilling into the head, but they show that like 5 or 6 times, and that's like all the real gore that's in it. It's just the spears hitting somebody in the head. I mean, I thought there'd be like some real, like they did in part 2, where they're like shooting the heads of these dwarves, and they're like blowing up, like pudding going all over the place, and fun, making it like fun gore and shit. And it seems like this is like a TV edited version to be shown on television as far as the gore is concerned. And comparing this is more like comparing like Texas Chainsaw, the new generation, that shit one with McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, to like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what this is to like the original Phantasm. It's horrible.
Oh, I think Chainsaw Next Generation is much better. I mean, like that's like miles. This is like some kind of teenager's fan film compared to the original Phantasm. I mean, that doesn't. I mean, that's just. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I thought there was no real innovations as far as the spheres, and I mean, we had that kind of red spiky sphere that blows up the person's head. There wasn't really, and we kind of go back to what worked in 2 and 3. We go back to the whatever.
But it's all too brief. I mean, that one scene, now that I remember, I mean, there was a little bit of pudding head explosion there, but it was like really like quick CGI shit. I mean, it wasn't like there was no like classic horror gore feel to it, like the movies we remember watching, like Phantasm 2.
Well, you've got Dawn. Her death.
Oh, on the bed. Like, but again, the spear fucking pumping, and then we got a horse kill. The fucking horse gets.
And then a horse kill. Yeah. Wow. 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 Horse.
I was hoping a spear would show up and fucking take my life at one point in this film.
Oh, it just ended all. Just end.
Yeah, I mean, did they dedicate that travesty to Angus Scrimm?
And then, did you even stay for the end to see Rocky?
No.
I think you shut it. Not at all.
I was wondering because
the
I'm
movie
like,
continues.
I shut it off.
Continues.
I shut it off when they drove off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And well, tell me what happened at the end. I'm not going to go back and watch it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, see, me and Mike, we hit play at the same time. We were kind of texting each other throughout the film. We both were watching it on iTunes and kind of going through it. And at the very end, it's like they have the director credit and the producer credit and the editor, and then they go back and they show Chuck, that little midget. He jumps through the portal out, so he survived. The little midget Chuck, and he only has one arm. His other arm is fucked up, and he sees Rocky, the black girl from Phantasm 3, I guess. Wasn't that Rocky? I think. I don't know.
I didn't see that part.
And so that, well, I don't know. Wasn't that the girl from Phantasm 3, Rocky?
I hear that she's in that somewhere. I thought since I shut it off, I thought maybe I missed her somewhere.
I'm not talking about Ravager. I'm talking about, I don't even remember Phantasm 3. That was like a bad memory, so I don't even know. But I think that was her. And so then they have a little dialogue scene. They both, little Chuck, the one-handed, and Rocky, they jump into the CUDA and they drive off in the sunset.
Oh, God.
So now we've got like 10. So now it's like a clown car. We've got like 10 people in this fucking CUDA. We've got like Jody. We've got Mike. And we've got Reggie. We've got Chuck. We've got the Rocky. We've got literally like 5 or 6 people in this little fucking car and It's like, that's like hell. You're in a little post-apocalyptic future and you got like 10 people in the goddamn car.
That makes it even more stupid now that you told me about that ending. The tacked on ending after the credits. Yeah. That makes it worse because that makes it even dumber. That you get the fucking midget and then, I mean, why? What the fuck? I mean, I thought I could hate it. I gave it 1.5 stars. I might give it 1 star now.
Oh, God.
1 star.
God.
Whatever. It's bad.
It's very bad. It's very bad. I don't know. I hate being this hard on it, but I don't know. It's been a long time coming, and
what have you seen that's been this bad in horror? Like, as far as
not much. I can't really. I mean, it's just this movie when you should put fog around your brain, and I can't think of many things that are worse.
Like the remake of The Fog?
I didn't even finish that one. Yeah, I mean, no. It was so technically bad. I mean, that shit with Reggie wandering around, it was just like, it was like blown out high definition video from like 2006. It was like, what the fuck? What? Because those first 4 movies, they look just so beautiful, and there's like a kind of, one thing to the Phantasm movies is there was always this kind of like quality, the visual quality to them, and like there's like the pristine element of the mausoleum and the cleanness of death, and almost like kind of like a sci-fi element of the spheres and the and there was something clean and crisp to it, and it was kind of lacking in this movie. There was that visual. I don't know. It's difficult for me to. It's kind of an intangible. But I mean, they did have the spheres did kind of become like big Death Stars. What'd you think about that? Again, like you're saying, it's only like 2 seconds in the movie, really.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really too much. I mean, the things that seemed intriguing, they never went down that road with.
Yeah, and they never really explained it either. It was just kind of like, okay, threw it out there.
I'm kind of curious. I want to hear the audio commentary for this when it comes out, because I really want to hear him explain what the fuck movie they were trying to go for. And I'm wondering if they got like a director's cut where you're going to have like, 18 extra minutes of Reggie walking down corridors. They got to have like deleted scenes of more walking down corridors in the director's cut. Maybe they can use that in like another Phantasm release where they can have Reggie come back and he's still walking down corridors in the next movie.
Walk down corridor. And who was that nurse? Like Nurse Ratchet, the dark-haired nurse. Was she also the nurse from the Jedediah scene?
I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't pick up on it either. I thought maybe she was also an actress from an earlier Phantasm. Wasn't there like a demonic nurse in Phantasm 3? Maybe she was that. I don't know. And well, the whole futuristic thing, I think, Mike, that was maybe that was pieces of, Roger Avery, the guy who co-wrote Pulp Fiction, Tarantino's partner. He wrote a Phantasm script called Phantasm, I think Phantasm 1999 AD or something like that. It was like a futuristic Phantasm movie. And maybe there were some plot elements of that were worked in to this film. Maybe that was where some of that kind of post-apocalyptic stuff came from.
It was exasperating just waiting for something to happen. And then when there was a glimmer that something was going to happen, it doesn't catch and it just falls flat and it doesn't go anywhere. And then it's like another monotonous scene of corridors. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, damn, we got like, they got like some midget that shows up and they've got like Mike shows up and it's like, okay, well, Mike's here. They're like you said earlier, okay, shit's going to hit the fan now. And it just, that goes nowhere. And then we're back with Reggie, like climbing out of bed and walking down more corridors. It's just a fucking Reggie and Corridor show is all it is.
It's the Reggie and Corridor show. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought I was stuck at Pryor's place watching the shit.
Well, I think Fangoria is giving it a good review.
Oh, of course. They're licking assholes wherever they can to get exclusive interviews with these people.
The Phantasm has always been a wonder, present day. Seeing things that the Phantasm forces us to say. Phantasm Ravager forces us to say goodbye to the world of Phantasm and its inhabitants through a different lens. It's such a sad yet powerful ending, and one that will leave you wanting to revisit the entire series again, Mike. Ravager reminds us of how magical the Phantasm series has always been, and it is definitely a bittersweet goodbye to one of the best horror series of all time. Phantasm, it's been a pleasure to live vicariously through ye. Oh, no, there's no comment. You can't comment on it.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to go right there, like, as soon as I get a chance to comment, but I guess they won't. And look, if there's ever, like, any doubt that Fangoria is... If there's any doubt that Fangoria has dropped to the level of being shit, it's that. I mean, that's not a 3 out of 4.
Well, Mike, Fangoria is barely publishing anymore. Fangoria is having internal issues, which is a whole other. Oh, look, John Carpenter, live. There you go. The George Romero doll. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Gar plush. That's what it is.
Yeah, let's just like commercialize all of this shit. Yeah. Well, it's become like They Live. It's just pumped out shit. Go out, consume, buy. We got a George Romero fucking doll you can buy. I mean, fuck off.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on with Phantasm Ravager. Now, by the way, have you seen the new poster for the Phantasm remastered?
Yeah, that's my desktop actually.
I think I almost want to buy a copy of that. It looks fucking great. It looks badass. The lady in lavender and oh shit. Yeah. Now we're just looking. Now we're just doing shit. Now we're just going nuts. Kathy Lester, fortune teller's granddaughter. What? Terry. I guess it's another Coscarelli connection. Marcy.
Kenny,
Who is that? Who is Terry Calbus? Fortune teller's granddaughter.
that's the one that brought Mike in to see the fortune teller in the first film.
Well,
right?
I know that. But where was she in this movie?
Was she in it? That's Phantasm, not Ravager.
No, I'm sorry. This movie's made my brain.
Oh, there you go.
What? Phantasm, yeah. So yeah, my brain, because I was just kind of okay. Yeah, Sean Okada, wasn't that? She was the nurse, right? Oh, she was in Bubba Hotep. She was in Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, they threw her a bone, give her an acting gig.
Wow. I was just trying to find. I felt like there was a connection. You see Daniel Roebuck, Demeter, that guy. Or is he? He's done all kinds of shit. We'll just go down the thing. Angus Scrimm, Don Cody. Yeah, Don. Whoa, Don Cody playing herself, I guess. I don't know.
That's a shame. That's a shame for her, because otherwise she could just take her name off the credits.
Steampunk Gravedigger. Steampunk Gravedigger, Mike.
I know one of those.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is. Let me see here. Let's see what negativity. Atrocious. There's some negativity.
I like the blows donkey balls.
Oh God, we gotta get off the negativity there, but
you can't. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I might have. It's so bad. I mean, I gotta call like iTunes and tell them somebody like hacked my account and rented that so I could get credited back or something.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea, just the whole meandering nature of it. I mean, the movies. I mean, the Phantasm movies are kind of meant to be kind of meandering and surreal, but this one just seems like this kind of a patchwork of shit. I mean, it's indescribable. I mean, I didn't think the CGI was that horrible. I mean, overall, I mean, if it had a good story, it kept you moving. I could have ignored all of that, but I think, as you're saying, the story is just so bad. You play a good game, boy.
Boy. The
master.
The horror.
You will enjoy the master, and the master will enjoy you.
Yeah, well, that came out on Blu-ray. Like what, last week? Finally, after like 10 years.
I'd like to have like Reggie Nolder just show up, fucking Mr. Barlow show up, fucking Phantasm Ravager. Now that's a movie. Now that's Salem's Lot. That's a hell of a movie.
Oh yeah.
That's one hell of a movie. I was just rewatching it. You kind of ignore it, how it kind of slips your mind how good it is, or at least in my mind. But that the Blu-ray is great. The Blu-ray is great, by the way. I know many people have been patiently awaiting their Blu-rays because fucking Amazon, they're in a little pissing match with Warner Brothers, and it's not even it's available for pre-order on their site and all kinds of. So I mean, it's available at FYE in store, but that's about it.
Well, you can't pick up a copy at Movie Stop; they're all gone.
Movie Stop. Oh, poor Movie Stop.
I went by the one in town, and where it used to be, and it looks very reminiscent of the dilapidated building that Reggie encountered at the beginning of this movie. It's just like nothing.
We got a building. It's on the side of the road. Let's shoot that fucker. Let's make a scene of it. Let's do it. Let's do it. It almost felt like the beginning of El Mariachi. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Robert Rodriguez, but just like fuck it. We got a little. We got the road. We got a guy walking down it. We got, you know, a little something we can put him on to elevate him, and let's just shoot it. And then, but then it's like this dilapidated house, and yet he finds that sack, that bag that's in like exceedingly excellent condition, and the fucking teddy bear that looks like it just like it came of a package, you know, made a lot of sense.
The first sign of the fact that this was going to be really bad was when he confiscated his vehicle back from that guy and then left him in the road naked. And it wasn't even really funny. It was just like, you know, it was like a lame joke.
Yeah. My brain is that wasn't there a scene where the CUDA explodes, or there's some kind of, or that was in Phantasm 4, wasn't it? Where they had this big car wreck or something explodes. Because I kept wanting the CUDA or something to explode in the road. I don't know. They had a nice CGI. They had a nice CGI chase with the spheres.
Yeah, I mean that was decent.
It was. And he, you know, he shoots the sphere in the glove box and the fucking thing. That was great.
I mean, there weren't the other films had like this quirky humor that actually was funny, and Reggie seemed very flat in this film, whereas in the others, like it was funny, like some of the shit, like the quirky jokes to the audience and stuff. But this was just everything fell flat. The jokes weren't that good. Yeah,
I mean, I think the joke kind of reached their apex with the kind of Home Alone bullshit weirdness of Phantasm 3. Phantasm 4 was really serious. I think it's Phantasm 2. It was a little funny. It has, you know, the whole humor of Reggie trying, you know, and his kind of relationship troubles on the road, you know, and all that shit. With that,
the interactions with the dwarves was funny in 2.
Yeah,
like they would jump out of like off the top shelf, and he'd just be like throwing it against the wall and, you know, blowing it away with the double 12 gauge and all that shit. I mean, that was funny, but this was just lame.
Yeah.
It was like,
and all that, and that shit with the girl in part 2 was, you know, the whole relationship thing, you know, and the sex scene and everything, and, you know, that was, you know, when she's acting like some kind of spastic animal. Remember that was funny.
Doesn't she get in the car and she's like twirling her hair, and her hair comes out in a clump from her scalp or something? Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's the end, of course, you know, because Reggie's always involved. He always never makes the right choice there. He leads with the wrong head.
Now, you told me that there was like a Phantasm rap at the end of the movie, which I didn't make it to.
Oh, yeah. You know, we're spoiling the entire movie, but who cares, I guess.
Well, we're saving like unneeded torture for people to not have to see it.
Yeah, I mean, we're saving people's lives and brains and sanity. Yes. Oh my God, the Phantasm rap. Yeah, that's something out of like 1994. What the fuck? You know, like, you know, what? I mean, my God, like Maniac Cop 2 ends with the Maniac Cop 2 rap, and then there's like a Nightmare on Elm Street that has a Nightmare on Elm Street rap, and I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. There was never a Friday film that had a rap in it. We think about it. Friday the 13th, not an urban type of thing. Not really.
Like
I mean,
Alice Cooper, you know, Man Behind the Mask, all that shit.
Yeah,
but
that's about it. Yeah, I don't think there was ever any big theme for that.
Well, with like My Bloody Valentine and Madman, you had like the folk songs, which were cool. They're part of the film mythos, and I can only imagine how shitty the Phantasm rap is.
You're not even going to watch it, are you? You're just going to ignore it. You're not even going to watch the end of the movie. I mean, seeing the end of the movie, that would bug the hell out of me. You know, you stopped it. You were like, you know.
Well, you made it worse by telling me that there was actually an added scene at the end, because that made it even worse.
It's not even really at the end. It's like they show a couple title cards and now here's more movie. I'm like,
well, I mean,
okay.
you have to understand, this is like the equivalent of you like telling me, oh, well, we're going to like cut your arm. We're going to tie you to a table and cut your arms off. And oh, by the way, we're going to cut your balls and your dick off too at the very end. And it's like, oh, well, thanks, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like Ghostbusters. It's like Ghostbusters 2016, where like literally at the end of the movie, you know, they're playing the title credits and like they just threw in scenes. It's like the Sigourney Weaver cameo. Cut that out. We'll just throw that fucking scene at the end of the film. The whole thing with the dancing people. You know, just throw it at the fucking end. Just throw it. Just pack it. That's what it kind of felt like. It was like, what the hell is going on here? Oh man. Oh, jeez. You know, we got to talk about Fabio Frizzi because I saw him live in concert last week doing the Beyond, the composer's cut.
Fabio Frizzi.
Oh, it was great, man. The composer's cut is great. It is. It's the Beyond. They just play the entire movie. They don't cut it up. They just play the entire movie, and he's rescored the entire movie. He's you know, the music cues are shifted around just a little bit, and then he's written a little. He's written basically one big main theme, one new theme that he plays throughout the thing, and then afterwards they do a little medley of Manhattan Baby, and then a medley of Devilfish, and it was just magic, great.
Manhattan Baby.
I mean, oh, Manhattan Babies is the creepy scare. I mean, there's something about hearing this music with a live band, you know, with the bass, you know, and you know, the Fabio Frizzi music is all real bass heavy. It's real these complex bass lines like Nightmare Concert, Cat in the Brain, and but to hear it with the drums and the acoustic guitars and this kind of bass that just kind of makes your tummy rumble. It's really good. It's great. It's great. If you ever get a chance to see Fabio Frizzi in concert, great. And yeah,
Did
I don't know what else to say.
Did he compose the Phantasm Rap too?
He did not compose the Phantasm Rap. He doesn't have anything to do with Phantasm, but it's very, you know, it's just very weird to see how the breadth of his. You know, you don't really think about Fabio Frizzi. You know, you think about like Goblin or John Carpenter, but you know, to go from Manhattan, all those Lucio Fulci movies like Manhattan Baby, Zombie, you know, City of the Living Dead, Gates of Hell, and you know, and then go to like this Devilfish, the Lamberto Bava movie, and then the spaghetti westerns that he did, you know, like Silver Saddle and Four for the Apocalypse, which you know were he was part of that Bixio, Frizzi and Tempera, you know, three guys who did all those soundtracks. The Psychic, beautiful soundtracks, very very interesting. Hearing that all live.
Was Survival of the Dead worse than Phantasm Ravager?
You know, I was thinking about Survival of the Dead. You know, because that's one of the movies that yeah, you're right. It was kind of as bad as that. But
that was at least
Survival
funny.
of the Dead is
well, that's another movie we watched together.
Shitty. Yeah, that was just inappropriate. I remember one time we were watching Survival of the Dead and my DVD player just like died. It just like it couldn't take it. Remember that? It just like it just shut off. It just couldn't take watching the movie. So it just shut off. Man, Survival of the Dead.
When you told me Phantasm Ravager like came out for streaming earlier today, I went throughout the whole day being so excited that I was going to sit down, fucking have a beer, you know, like fucking cut loose watching this.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Now you need to go to a theater and watch it this Friday.
It's
See it with
actually
a bunch of people. Oh yeah, it's been a little bit of distribution. Yeah. I don't know where it's playing. Every theater. I don't know.
People are going to walk out of this film. No, I'm not kidding, really.
Hmm. 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 I'm just trying to see what movies what theater, the nearest theater would be playing near you. Oh, they're doing a double feature of Phantasm and Phantasm Ravager.
Well, they can
I
leave
guess.
after the first movie.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
I mean, this is the kind of level shit. This is the kind of level shit that they could use to like torture like detained ISIS terrorists and shit.
Oh. No. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe he's playing at that Crescent Theater in Mobile. Maybe, who knows? No, well, no, they're not even playing. They're avoiding it.
I mean, it might play for like a night, then it's going away.
Yeah. So I guess people should avoid it, and they should go with what?
This is like
avoid it.
This is like coming down with the HIV, man. This is like the sickness. It's bad.
They need to avoid it, and they need to go, and they need to watch. They need to get the original one.
Yeah.
Go watch that Phantasm Remastered.
If you purchased like Phantasm Ravager and you haven't popped the shrink wrap, just take it back. It's a sickness. It needs to go back. Return.
Well, I think eventually there is a box set planned at some point, right? With all the films. I think they're kind of teasing. I don't know exactly when it's supposed to be released. But yeah, it's coming out, I guess, later this year.
They could like double feature it with like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 or something.
Oh my God! Oh God! Well, Halloween, my God! John Carpenter is back to Halloween. He called fucking Rob Zombie a piece of shit. You know what? I mean, Jesus! What the hell is going on here?
I saw that interview he directed me to go see.
Well, yeah, I mean they took it off of the New York Film Academy. They actually they killed the video, but then somebody else had the video up, and so I don't know. Do you want to let me?
You said Rob Zombie's piece of shit.
Yeah.
I almost regret that our buddies at Dead Pit aren't doing Dead Pit shows anymore, because I would have loved to hear their take on Ravager.
Yeah. I don't know.
Got to find out what Mike Dawson thought of it.
Oh, Mike Dawson.
Mike Dawson. Maybe they'll have the Phantasm cast at Pensacon, where I could like show up and get him to autograph my copy.
Oh my God! Conventions. Oh my God! And speaking of that, we've never done the whole monster show video on the convention.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about that recently.
Blowing the convention, the expose on the conventions. Blowing that apart, man.
The whole convention thing's just gotten really stupid. I mean, the last convention I went to, it's kind of a big thing down here in the Gulf Coast now. The particular convention I went to.
It's a big thing everywhere where there's some money, where there's some rich, with some people with some cash who want to see fucking William Catt and some people from Babylon 5 and shit.
Richard Hatch. You could take Dirk Benedict and Richard Hatch to Whataburger and be like, hey man, I'm big time.
People want to fucking watch Claudia Christian on a fucking panel with Bruce Boxleitner and fucking, wail on about the good old days. Jesus Christ.
They got the Rocky Horror Picture Show coming back with the cast redone, with a bunch of fucking hipsters in it now and shit that they're going to premiere in a couple of weeks too on Fox, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I think that could be interesting. Whatever. I don't really have a feeling, yeah, negatively or positively about that. Yeah. So it could be good. I don't know. You know, it's like it's that whole Glee bullshit.
Well, talking about going back to the convention talk, you have people like Sid Haig, some of these people like on that level, that Bill Moseley. These people just go from convention to convention now because in a lot of cases they can make like in a weekend more than they make like being in the actual fucking movie itself.
Well, there was that article on the Hollywood Reporter article, I believe, where it talks about fucking Norman Reedus pulling down like fucking $250,000, 300,000 a fucking weekend. You know, which I almost don't believe. I almost believe that's kind of like some kind of plant. You know, I almost don't believe that. Though there was, you know, in the conventions, I went to conventions, and you know, we kind of used to hang around with convention people. There was one big convention star who told me that he could make like 20 or 30 grand a fucking week, like fucking tax free.
Well, you know, Priscilla. Well, you know, Priscilla Barnes could make like $20 or $30 on a good weekend at a convention.
Oh my god! Yeah, she could make a whole crisp
And I think with that comes like a date to like Burger King, and I think you might get a little handy afterwards. Or something.
I gotta stop that. Oh Jesus, you're getting rambunctious.
It's the word on the street.
That's the word on the streets of comedy, because it's a comedy show, and we're by no means insinuating anything torrid going on here.
She's a celebrity and a personality, so she's not beyond making a satire, joking.
Oh yes, I've never met Priscilla Barnes. Jesus Christ, my brain. But the only thing that is kind of, I feel, is, speaking of torrid and hacky, is the whole convention thing of charging people, you know, like I'm going to say it, charging people like $300 fucking dollars to take a picture with George A. Romero and Bub. I mean, my God. I mean, that was just ridiculous. That's become like the new hip thing, like Grandpa John Duggan has done a few shows where he dresses up in a makeup and you take a picture with him, and then they got Howard. Bill Moseley, years ago, Bill Moseley dressed up like Chop Top. Bill Moseley's like obsessed with Chop Top, you know. You know how he got the role in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, that he actually did this student film where he dressed up like the hitchhiker. Yeah. He's been obsessed with the hitchhiker for way longer, into the 80s. So, what the fuck happened to Bill Moseley? What movie has he been in lately?
He's got a table right next to Priscilla Barnes, charging like $40 for an autograph. I
guess so, right? I mean, but I haven't even seen him I guess he's at conventions. I guess he's doing conventions. Have you seen, speaking of disappointing video on demand stuff, have you seen Rob Zombie's newest movie?
No, is that out? I might have to watch that. 31?
I think it is out. I believe it's out on. I haven't cared to watch it, but it's gotten very, very bad reviews.
Oh shit!
I know Lords of Salem was just a disappointment as well.
Rob Zombie's whole shtick, though, seems to be kind of taking the hot topic generation, millennials, and trying to like kind of regurgitate his horror. And I don't know if it's like his feigned love of horror. It seems more like a gimmick that he's just kind of fashioning for his own means and kind of pumping it out there. But his stuff, I mean, I like Devil's Rejects, and I watched House of a Thousand Corpses about 2 months ago again. And, you know, like, I mean, I like the look and the style of House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought Devil's Rejects was actually a good movie. but I haven't really seen anything he's done. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween because I think he, just like John Carpenter said, his fuck up with doing that was the whole thing about demystifying Michael Myers. Michael Myers is supposed to be like a force of nature, evil, and they just like totally took the whole mystique away from that character and explained that he was just this whiny little brat who used to get bullied. So he's going to get payback.
I hate, sometimes I hate when people say, oh, I would have done this in a movie, I would have done that in a movie. I think that's just kind of wishful thinking. But I had some wishful thinking today. I thought of, man, how would I start off if I was Rob Zombie and I wanted to do a revisionist Halloween? You know how I would start it off? It's kind of long. But I'll just rant right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we start off in a fucking trailer park. We got this hick mom, Sherry Moon Zombie, and this abusive stepdad, and we've got this little kid. And Sherry Moon Zombie's like, Michael, that is yelling at this kid, Michael. And then Michael, runs out of the trailer park. He's on his bike, and he's playing, and he fucking falls off a cliff and breaks his leg, and he's just all bloody. He's all fucked up. And then who comes up to him? This little kid comes up to him, and he's like, help me, help me, help me. The little Michael on the ground. And we see over him this kid who has this blank face, the devil's eyes. And he looks at him, and he walks back to his calm suburban house. It's Michael Myers. The person we saw at the beginning of the film is not Michael Myers. Is some random kid. And so the real Michael Myers was from Halloween. He was like, he had the perfect family. He lived in the nice house, but there was something at a certain age, his brain just shut off. And why? What happened? And that's the mystery of Halloween. The whole mystification, that was horrible.
Lonnie, get your ass over here.
So I would freak people out. I would kind of throw people off guard with my film, and again, just making vague, I would really just, I did a whole video on Halloween. I would remake Halloween 1. I just do the same thing, just do it over, just like they did with the Friday the 13th movies in the 80s. Just do them over, just do the same movie over and over. That's what I would do. I would have repetition. If I wanted to make a new Friday the 13th movie or a Halloween movie or Nightmare on Elm Street, I would just do the whole thing. I just do it over and over.
Yeah, you could tweak some aspects, but I mean, like for example, Friday the 13th, it's always just reliant on, you got some fucking kids going to a camp and they're going to get hacked up. I mean, that's what people are going to see. They don't need like this embellishment upon, like Michael's got a cousin now, and there's like these new secret family members that you weren't aware of, like in every movie, and then they got like this cult that shows up, and they tie in with like fucking.
I think you're thinking about Halloween.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Cult. I'm talking about that, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Friday the 13th, because I don't know. Sometimes like the Man in Black's going to show up and fucking in front of Jason, and it'll just be this weird kind of interwoven of web of shit, basically.
Well, I was talking with some people about Friday the 13th and like the different avenues they're trying to go down to make it creative now and stuff. And all you have to do is take the basic premise, and instead of it being like Crystal Lake, just make like the whole town now is just deserted because of all the murders, all the killings that are going on. And it's kind of like a ghost town. It's just this town that was once thriving, out in the suburbs or whatever, and they had the summer camp, and now it's abandoned, where instead of it just being a camp, you can use the same formula and just make it grander, like where some kids go into the town, and they're like, they've heard about the curse of whatever fucking town that Crystal Lake's in, and instead of it just being in this little camp, they have it in the town, and then Jason's just going through the town, he's got the town to himself. It's just like a small...
It's like a ghost town. It's like a ghost town.
But I mean, it's larger than like a little like Western saloon type city. I mean, I'm talking about, it's like a out in the country rural type city where you have like the lakes and you got the woods, but then you got like the downtown with the general store and the fucking whatever, all that kind of shit. And you just have Jason go into the town, and you have some people that go. It could be like a group of kids that are like, maybe it's like a initiation thing, a la Hell Night, where they're like, you got to go into like the Crystal Lake town for like a weekend and survive, because of the legend of Jason or whatever, something like that. That's more believable than sending fucking Jason to outer space and some of the stupid shit they're doing.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I can't even think about that. That was embarrassing.
Or Jason's a worm, some sort of like evil demon symbiote that's like crawling up people and shit.
That's me eating as playing the corn or eating the heart. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was funny. That was.
Well, thankfully they haven't remade like Funhouse or The Prowler, or
Why not?
I mean,
Why not?
They remade Prom Night, right?
Yes.
Prom Night. They haven't remade Graduation Day though.
Not yet. Not yet.
They got to get Felony back for that to play Gangster Rock.
Gangster Rock, yeah. I don't know. I think some of those guys at Felony are no longer living. I think. I don't know. I think so. I think they're no longer there.
Well, who have we lost recently? We had H.G. Lewis ended up in the pit.
Oh my God! Yes, H.G. Lewis, man, the death of Herschel Gordon Lewis on the eve of the big box. Have you seen that gigantic box set they're going to release of all of his movies on Blu-ray from Arrow?
No, I have not.
Oh my God, that's coming out in a few months.
Did the Thing Blu-ray special edition come out yet?
It was delayed. There was something. There was something going on as far as that goes, and I think that delayed the shipments of that. But yeah, I mean, my God. Yeah.
Maybe they could remake like Count Yorga with like Channing Tatum or something, some shit like that. The Count Yorga Blu-rays came out, so what brought that to mind. I got both of those, and those are great.
Yeah, and actually, Arrow did actually re-release those on a but I have the same Blu-rays as you. I have the U.S. Blu-rays. The Twilight Time, the Twilight Time Yorga, and then the Return from Olive, right?
I forget.
What?
Oh, I was saying I forget who put that out, The Return.
Yeah, my God, man. And the death they need to get the Death Master out on Blu-ray. That's again, you don't think of the third kind of unofficial Count Yorga film, the Death Master.
The Death Master.
The Death Master, man, freaking Death Master, which is kind of like the vampire as like a Charlie Manson type cult leader. Really, really cool, really wild. That's actually the first Yorga, the first Quarry vampire movie I saw. And did you listen to the commentary track on the film, on the at least the original one, Count Yorga? That's a really good one. Oh my God, with I think David Del Valle and Tim Sullivan are on the commentary track, and they knew Robert Quarry, and especially Del Valle, and they go into a lot of the background. They tell some crazy stories about how people would go crazy around Count Yorga. Some guys would like ejaculate in their pants in front of him. It's like, what the fuck, like people would just go nuts, and because he'd do public appearances, and women and men would just go insane.
Oh my God.
They would just go crazy. Yeah. Yeah, the Herschel Gordon Lewis box set is insane, is nutty. It's like 17 discs. It's got, oh my God. There's only limited edition 500. I think it's already sold out. But pretty much all of his films. You got 7-inch singles. You got the paperback book of Blood Feast. You got look at this. Look at all this shit that you got here. You got all kinds of crap to consume. Look at this.
Oh, they got a barf bag.
And they got a barf bag. They got an eyeball. They got a soundtrack. They got the original Blood Feast thing here. This is the limited edition box set that I think is already sold out. By the way, that's the problem with Arrow Blu-ray is like, by the time you order, it's like, oh, sold out.
I wish they'd release Night Stalker or Night Strangler on Blu-ray.
Oh God, yeah. Do you still have that DVD, or have you sold it again? And
no, I still have that. That one hadn't gone back.
And they also they're going to put on this as a special feature. They're going to put the Incredibly Strange Film Show, Herschel Gordon Lewis episode. Did you ever watch the Incredibly Strange Film Show?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh my God, it's like it was a BBC or a British. I don't think it was BBC. It was a British television series hosted by Jonathan Ross. It was like documentaries on weirdo filmmakers like Ed Wood and Fred Olen Ray and Doris Wishman and Stuart Gordon and Herschel Gordon Lewis. It was this big. They were like hour-long documentaries. They were brilliant. They were great. Russ Meyer. He covered everybody. It was really good.
I'm still just trying to shake the shit taste of Ravager.
It's been an hour. It's been over an hour since you finished watching it. You're still trying to kind of process it and unpack it and rationalize it and put it in a box and get into your quiet place, find your spirit animal, convene with the spirit animal, and move forward in your life, knowing that you've had this traumatic experience. You've gone through this event, this horrible event. This kind of it's a ravager. Maybe it's an appropriate title because it kind of ravages your ideas of the phantasm. It does ravage phantasm basically. It ravages your very memory of those wonderful, beautiful first 4 movies.
Oh my God, it's shit.
It is a ravager, isn't it? It's very appropriately titled.
Ravage.
It ravages.
I felt like I've been mentally raped watching that movie.
I know. There should be some kind of class action here. Some kind of we've been sold a shoddy bill of goods. Jesus.
Coscarelli, shame on you.
Oh. Speaking of old stuff, have you seen the new Vestron video Blu-rays?
No.
That are coming?
Well, I've seen the cover of, I think, of Blood Diner or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, Blood Diner Insanity Tour. They're showing it if you're in Kansas, you're in luck. But oh yeah, man, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're releasing Return of the Living Dead 3, Chud, all of this stuff. I mean, for me, Vestron Video was my video label. It was epic. It was that was the video label that I loved.
Waxwork.
Oh, they're releasing the Waxwork double feature. Yeah, I mean,
that'll be the first time in widescreen.
In the first Chopping Mall. So they're doing Chopping Mall. I don't really remember Chopping Mall very, very well. Some people go nuts over Chopping Mall. Some people fucking lose their shit over Chopping Mall.
God.
Blood Diner. Man, I remember Blood Diner. They used to play it late night in Pensacola on ABC. They would have this thing called Nightmare Theater or whatever. I don't know. I've got the videos on my on YouTube of it. Jackie Kong, female director. And this was like, it was, you know, inspired by Herschel Gordon Lewis. In fact, they were going to have him on as like a advisor, blood advisor, but they didn't do it. Oh, Vestron. Vestron. How I love you, Vestron.
Oh my God, we got to release another. Is there another fucking Evil Dead release coming out?
What, the Ash versus Evil Dead? That's
No,
the new
no. If you go down, I saw Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn. There was like something about a anniversary release.
No, I think this is just, that's an old one,
It's
right?
old,
Isn't it? Oh, see, December 2nd, 2011. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What else is going on here? Phantasm Ravager. Somebody's got a
Yeah.
new review.
I hear that's good. What did they say?
Okay. I'm happy to report that Phantasm Ravager continues the tradition, even as it signals the end of an era.
Oh yeah.
Oh, from the very first frames, fans will know that they're in for a wicked ride when they see the famous 19. Well, that's bullshit. There, in the first frames of the film, you see it's a fucking 10-minute shot of fucking Reggie walking out of the desert. We see the famous 71 Plymouth Barracuda is back, and it is brought with it a few intergalactic hitchhikers. What? All right. Oh, in the spheres. All right. The first movie had a genuine teen empowerment vibe.
Teen power.
I guess it was kind of a dark coming-of-age tale. I wouldn't say it as a teen empowerment vibe. This film is definitely kind of geriatric, though. I mean, it's sad, and it's almost kind of the end of an era, you know. But then it sucks, you know, as well. You know, it's.
Yeah, let me read that last paragraph real quick.
What?
Hold on. I just want to see what she summarizes the author. I think Lynn here.
Yes, Phantasm Ravager is clearly made by and for the fans.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes it feel so sincere. And seeing Scrimm in his final performance makes the ride that much sweeter. He was an excellent actor. He wasn't really an actor. He was more of a composer. But never mind. He was an excellent actor, and we get to see a lot more of him we get to see a lot more of him than in previous installments. No, we don't. He sees in 5 minutes.
What movie were they watching?
I don't know. As he gives ultimatums, offers devil's bargains, and basically chews the blood-soaked scenery, all while pretty much standing comatose in one spot, you know. I mean, I don't know. He was probably very ill. I mean, the featurette with Coscarelli talks about how he was, you know, they retraced their steps and they went back and saw it. Have you watched the featurette on the making of Phantasm Ravager where Coscarelli talks about how Angus Scrimm he took a trip with him and they went back to the house that was Morningside and they visited the old location. They was talking about it a lot.
No. Oh. That would have made for a better film.
Well, maybe it would make you feel differently if you saw it, so maybe you should watch it. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like washing the taste of shit out of your mouth with like gasoline or something.
Mm. No.
And they gave it like 3 out of 5 stars on that rating, whatever the fuck site that was. What was that, Bloody Disgusting or something?
It's Dread Central.
Yeah. Dread Central. Well, they're fucked up too.
Yeah. Okay. So
I promise there's going to be like a shit fest of like posted videos on YouTube like in the next 24 hours of people shitting all over this.
Oh yeah.
And it definitely deserves it.
Yeah. We had 2 viewers, then we had 1 viewer. Now we have 0. People have just, even the last person has given up on us. Like, I'll see you later. Have you heard of this? Speaking of another independent movie that I watched a few days ago, have you ever seen this film? Heard of this film, The Mind's Eye?
Yes.
The Mind's Eye by this guy Joe Bagos. It's kind of like a very heavily inspired by Scanners, but it's kind of like a telekinesis movie, like Scanners or Firestarter or The Fury. And it's been like delayed for a year or something, or hasn't been, it's eventually, it's now released. I watched it. It was okay. It was okay. To get into it, would take a while, but it was a bit of a letdown. But otherwise, I mean, I don't know.
Did you watch Baskin yet?
I began to watch that. I felt like I fell asleep during it. I wasn't that excited by it. I don't know. Did you watch it?
I was excited about watching it, and every time I go to it on Netflix, I just look at the rating, and it's like 1.5 star. So, like, even the people that would normally, I guess, like it, you would think would rate it well, and it's just like it looks like it's just going to be shit.
Well, I mean, I started to watch it. It's like these guys yelling at each other, and they can't, and they're just yelling at each other, and it's and then they get in a van and they yell at each other some more, and they sing a song, and they crash, and then they go to the spooky house, which is like between the interdimensional portal between hell, and then they're running around, and it's in Turkey, and that's my review of what I watched before I went to, and they cook meat. There's lots of meat cooking, and it's which is very appropriate for the film because it feels like all sizzle and no steak. That's what it kind of the whole thing is about to, and so. But I don't. That's a half sleepy review. I wish I was half sleepy when I watched Phantasm Ravager. Maybe I might be able to forget it and write it off as a dream. I don't know. What other movie? So The Mind's Eye. The Mind's Eye was an interesting movie, but yeah. Yeah. The thing is, telekinesis movies are like the last movie that I'd want to, do an homage to, do a ripoff of, because nobody thinks of, oh my God, my favorite Brian De Palma movie is The Fury, like Firestar is my favorite. No, and even Scanners. Scanners was a very successful movie for David Cronenberg. It was kind of his breakout film, but even now, a lot of people just fucking hate Scanners. They just think it's like 2 hours of watching guys with like constipated, faces. You know, it's very. You've got to buy into this whole, psychic telekinesis thing. You know,
Shit.
and also Scanners was more cerebral. It was a very well written film, and the idea of the Scanners is that you can literally kind of tap into people's nervous systems and influence their minds and get them to do things and interact with other like electrical systems and things like that. And the mind's eye is far more. It's kind of more like parlor tricks, like making chairs move around and hit people and shit. And then it's always very convenient in the mind's eye where at times they can lose their powers, and they'll have this happens 3 or 4 times in the mind's eye where they're doing something, and somebody comes up in the back of them and hits them in the back of the head with like a heavy object, and they fall over, and then they're able to be captured or killed or something. It's that kind of silly stuff, and it's not as well written as Scanners. And it's more of kind of like an action movie, like imagine like a 90s like direct-to-video version of Scanners. That's kind of what The Mind's Eye is about. And it's kind of fun, it's good, but it's just kind of like we've seen a lot of this stuff, And then like you need some, like, I mean, Scanners had like Patrick McGowan, it had like these heavy actors and stuff, and there's not really somebody like Patrick McGowan in The Mind's Eye, even though the lead actor is this guy Graham Skipper, who is also in Almost Human. Have you ever seen Almost Human?
I'm aware of it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It's like a kind of a takeoff on The Thing, and Extro and alien abduction films and the Terminator. It's like kind of it's about this guy who's abducted by aliens and he comes back and he's like a pod person, and then he begins to kind of make other pod people out of other people, and then it kind of goes on. So it's a very there's some nice tense moments in it. It's very good. I would say it's better than The Mind's Eye. Oh.
It's my review of Phantasm Ravager.
Oh my God. It always comes around. It comes around to Phantasm Ravager.
Like the spheres.
Yeah. Yes. Like the spheres. Oh man.
It's pretty much like fucked up my mind.
It's just you're just kind of in this free fall of disappointment, and your childhood has been ravaged, and that's it. I did a video on the Neon Demon. I'm just thinking about stuff we can talk about.
Demon.
I guess you've not seen any. It'll eventually show up on wherever you can see it. Because I know you've got Netflix. I'm sure it'll eventually. No, I guess it won't because it was financed by Amazon. So I watched recently this movie, The Jacket, from what is it, 2004, 2005?
Is that the one with Adrian Brody?
It's one with Adrian Brody. It's kind of like it's like a kind of a Twilight Zone type of movie with Keira Knightley and Adrian Brody, about this kind of guy who comes home from the Gulf War, and he's like Rocky, or rather Rambo. He's walking along and he gets involved with this murder, and then he goes and he travels, and it's kind of this weird type of, is it all in his mind, or it's very, think about Phantasm Ravager. It's kind of similar to that, where he's kind of, is this in this character's mind, or is it real? And it's a lot of voodoo bullshit.
I saw it years ago. I forgot what goes on in it, though.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it was really a film. It was made by this guy, this guy John Mayberry, who was the director, who was this like British art director. He had worked a lot with this guy. What did he work a lot with? He, that British. He was part of that whole scene of British art people. Derek Jarman. Derek Jarman, the gay British art house director who died of AIDS, and so it's that kind of, it's all artsy type stuff. That's what The Jacket is all about, and it's all kind of like there's these kind of experimental film sequences that are. I think Mayberry has made better movies. I think even the Derek Jarman films are more accessible than The Jacket. The Jacket was a bit of a mess. It was really bad. But then I was thinking about The Jacket, and I saw it, and Brad Renfro. It was like Brad Renfro's last movie.
Yeah, he's in the pit.
My God, it's like it's like people that you don't think are dead. I mean, like, I don't even, you just didn't even acknowledge Brad Renfro. I still think, every once in a while I'll see like Brad Renfro, and I'll go up on the IMDb and I'll like say, oh, what new movie has he done? And it'll be, oh my God, he's dead. And you know what I was thinking about today as well, because today marks the 20th anniversary of That Thing You Do.
Okay.
I think it's this week, or I think it was October. I think it was actually October 4th, 96 when it came out. So it's 20 years of That Thing You Do, and all the guys in That Thing You Do. What the fuck happened to them, man? I mean, because they were like top actors.
Aren't
Top,
they
you know,
they're like parking cars and like serving fries at fast food joints and shit?
I mean, the band, The Wonders, had Tom Everett Scott, Jonathan Skeck, Ethan Embry. You remember those guys? No, nobody does. Fuck, nobody does. Liv Tyler, she was in it. She what the fuck? Well, Liv Tyler, what is she? Is she like renting an apartment with Alicia Silverstone now? I mean, what the fuck is going on? And that should be like what was that? Who is that? They've got that could be like a sitcom. You've got like
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette. No, that's too high end. You've got like Liv Tyler. You've got like
Denise Crosby. Denise Richards. Well, fuck Denise Crosby too. Throw her in there.
I know. I'm thinking about that girl who was fucking the guy who directed Rush Hour. It was his girlfriend for a while. Well, what was her? She was in Urban Legend, right? She was.
Rebecca Gayheart.
Hey,
right?
Rebecca Gayheart. What the fuck's going on with her? I think.
Well, and you had what was Natalie Wood's daughter, Natasha Wagner, whatever.
Yeah, Natasha Gregson Wagner.
Yeah. Well, Tara Reid. She would be one of the bitches in that house with Liv Tyler.
Yeah, I guess so. I think Liv Tyler is too famous for all these. You got like Rebecca Gayheart. You've got Natasha Gregson Wood, Gavner. You've got
Gavner.
You've got and fuck it, Julie Kavner. Why not throw her in as well?
Well,
Alicia Witt.
You definitely have to have Tara Reid in that. Well, what about the Shannon Elizabeth that was in American Pie and with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt and all those fucking people?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. She was doing pretty well.
Shit.
Alicia Witt. Remember Alicia Witt? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wasn't she in like that? No. Who the fuck? What should Alicia Witt in?
Elijah Dushku.
Oh.
She might be Elijah Dushku might be
oh yeah.
She might be hooking up with a famous independent director of ours soon after his big movie.
Well, that's going to be an interesting film, Slater versus Slater.
Yeah. You want to tell everyone what that's about?
It's a profile of Tom Slater, who is Christian Slater's father, who is has pledged to sue Christian Slater for ruining his career. It's an odd story. This is a man who's kind of lived homeless. He's been homeless.
We talking about the director, or are we talking about Christian Slater's dad?
I don't Christian Slater's dad.
Oh, okay. And because we know the director's kind of fallen on hard times.
Well, I don't know about that. Well, someone we know has again gotten this Tom Slater guy. So and is doing some kind of project. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Who knows?
25 billion years. We'll see it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything here. I'm just looking. I don't know. The world. So for some reason now I'm looking at Alicia Witt's IMDb.
She was in Urban Legend. One of those, right?
And she was in Dune. Remember, she was in the original Dune.
Well, what about
a little kid?
Katherine Heigl's another one of those.
She's kind of. I don't know. She's had a good career. She's still, doing stuff. What am I saying? She's on a fucking milk carton right now. What the fuck happened to Katherine Heigl?
Well, she was on like Grey's Anatomy, and something happened there, and like years ago, and left. And her whole thing was Under Siege too, and My Father, the Hero.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! Remember Under Siege?
Under Siege 2.
Who the fuck was in the original Under Siege? That chick who was also in fucking
that's
E.T.
Erica Leniak or something, right? That was it.
Oh, Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh
shit.
my god.
Fucking Erica Laniak. I remember she pops out of that motherfucking cake. Holy shit. Remember that scene?
I remember the movie. They shot that on a ship that's
Yeah,
like
they
about
did.
a 15-minute drive from where I'm sitting right
Yeah,
now.
they did. They did. They did, man. Fucking Gary Busey. And that was when the world was all right. When you can make that movie, have Erica Laniak jumping out of a cake, fucking Gary Busey, fucking Dennis Hopper still alive making shitty Nike commercials. I mean, that was
Tommy Lee Jones.
fucking Tommy Lee Jones was Tommy Lee Jones,
Jack Nicholson was still Jack, and
fucking Jack, fucking Batman was Michael Keaton,
Michael
you know.
Jackson was still raping kids.
Michael Jackson was still making the hits, and
Well,
the world was all
speaking of
right.
which, did you? What about Corey Feldman? He's had kind of like a big burgeoning career going on with his Good Morning America appearance, with his singing career.
He was very Michael Jackson-esque with that dancing. I mean, my God, that was amazing.
Hee hee.
I remember he went on Howard Stern a number of years ago and did his former child actor song, and fucking Howard Stern. Did you see the news about Opie? How he's leaving Sirius and
No.
all that stuff? Oh yeah, man.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the guys got fired, right, for making some racial remark on air a couple
Well,
of years ago.
that was Anthony Cumia. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was like in 2014. I think he just walked. Did they fire him or was it? I don't know. It was weird. He does his own radio show now.
Well, what's the story with Opie?
With Opie, like I don't think they renewed his contract. They had Jim Norton. It was Jim Norton and Opie. That Jim Norton kind of replaced Anthony, and apparently they Sirius decided that they could go with Jim Norton and just goodbye to Opie.
Get out.
And then Opie had this put this weird video on YouTube where he like had the Jaws theme behind him, and he's like insinuating they're like sharks, that everybody is out to knife him in the back or something.
Out to ravage you.
Yeah, I don't know. I never was a Opie and Anthony listener. I was Howard Stern listener. So,
You mentioned Stern, and I
listen.
mean, he's been shit.
I haven't listened to a Howard Stern episode in a while. I don't know when's the last time you listened to Howard Stern? A while, probably.
Every now and then I'll pull up something on YouTube if there's like an interesting person that they had an interview with, but I canceled my Sirius subscription because Stern it got around the Dancing with the Stars when he was Mr. Big Time, like Long Island Howie, hanging out.
I don't even watch the YouTube shit anymore. I mean, like interviews and stuff. I don't even do that.
Hampton's Howie, I meant to say Hampton's Howie.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that he doesn't put Gilbert Gottfried on anymore. It's like, I mean, Gilbert Gottfried and Howard Stern is like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
It's like fucking, yin and yang. It's like it goes together, man.
Douglas.
Fucking Gilbert, man. But I have been, what I have been listening to? I have been listening to a lot of Open Anthony on YouTube with Patrice O'Neal. Anytime Patrice O'Neal would go on Opie and Anthony, it was just like funny as fucking shit. I don't know if you're listening to shit. Patrice O'Neal. Like there's one episode where he has Gallagher on. Have you ever heard that? He has Patrice O'Neal and Gallagher, but because like Gallagher would do like some off-color, humor, and shit. And it's just like literally like 2 hours of like Patrice O'Neal and Opie and Anthony just hammering on Gallagher. It's the funniest shit. It's like Patrice O'Neal's like, "Hey, Gal, you ever popped any black pussy?" It's like, what the fuck? He's talking. It's funny as shit. And Patrice O'Neal. That's another guy that is dead. And I was like, looking, wow, and he's dead.
He's in the pit.
I didn't know that he was dead either. It was like sad. I think when he died, kind of the Opie and Anthony show, it just wasn't the same. I don't know.
Is that kind of
He was just,
well? Stern stopped really being entertaining on any level when Artie Lang left.
yeah, the whole Artie thing was sad. Do you ever listen to any other like podcasts like Mark Maron or is that this guy's name? I don't know.
I know of the Mark Maron. I haven't listened to the cast.
Well, he has a whole podcast called WTF, and he did a really short show with Gallagher where Gallagher walked off the show. It was funny.
But Gallagher's making the rounds on like some of these shock jock shows these days.
Well, he was for a while, but then I think he's kind of quieted down.
Is he still busting watermelons out?
I think so. Yes. Still busting it up.
Maybe he can go down. He can go down to the Black Lives Matter, like
God,
bust some watermelons up.
Now
oh my God!
Now we're getting controversial. Now we're going down that. We're going down that rabbit hole. It's great. I'm just looking to see what Rob Zombie is up to here. He's up to some wonderful things.
No doubt. What's he going to remake now?
Wonderful, wonderful things.
Wasn't he talking about remaking The Blob at one point?
I think that's dead. I think that's dead on the water. So,
Rob Zombie.
Do you think he could dance?
Do you think he can dance?
No, that's his soundtrack. That's Dragula. They played Dragula there, so yeah.
We know Dragula.
Dragula. We do actually.
Look at Dragula Steve.
We know the Dragula. We have a person whose name is Dragula.
Yeah. Right.
I
know that. What is it? TCM's doing their horror movies for October. There's a bunch of good stuff on there. If you check the schedule, they're like showing a lot of great classic black and white, like Universal horror shit, and they're running like all month with a bunch of that stuff, the Hammer horror stuff. So,
yeah, I think Christopher Lee is a showcase. They've got a lot of stuff going on.
I watched Wicker Man actually again about 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, the Blu-ray for that. The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man. Now, speaking of that, have you watched the recent sequel, The Wicker Tree?
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
in fact, our friend Dragula said that it sucked, so I didn't bother with it.
Yeah, I've been scared to watch it as well. I've been just kind of scared. Been like, ooh. Yep. Frankenstein, Terror Classics, all kinds of good stuff on TCM this October. All kinds of fun stuff.
I recorded Son of Frankenstein with Basil Rathbone. I've never seen that.
I saw
before.
that. Were you watching TCM like a couple nights ago?
Well, I recorded it, but I've never seen it. I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
Oh, man. You're in for a treat. That's one of the best Frankenstein sequels. Oh, yeah. It's Bela Lugosi as, like, this fucking Igor and then Boris Karloff. Oh, man. It's great.
Oh, the makeup and grunting. Rah!
It was great. So good. So good. Oh, man. Just when they're still young and vital and My favorite Karloff Lugosi film, though, is always The Black Cat. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. That's where he locks up Lugosi for like some botched operation on his wife or something, right?
Yeah, he plays Lugosi. Karloff plays like this escaped war criminal, and Lugosi killed Lugosi's wife, and he's chasing after him. and like he's got his daughter all up in the bed, and weird movie, man. You just like the physicality of Karloff, oh man. And it's wall-to-wall music, wall-to-wall classical. It's a really weird movie. It's only like 60 minutes. It's also really short. I think they're playing it in October as well.
Did you see White Zombie?
I saw White Zombie, and I really, really liked it. It kind of bores me at certain times, but maybe I need to just rewatch it.
Isn't Scorsese doing like a restoration or something of Night of the Living Dead? Didn't I read that? Where he was involved with something with like restoring it or doing some 4K or something?
Now that you bring that up, I think I read that. Yeah, I mean, I think what happened. I'm just looking at the article really quick. I think they found the missing footage. I think they found the part of the scene that was always lost, which the director found on a 60mm work print. So there was a jump cut in the basement, and it's said to be the largest zombie scene in the film. Huh. Yeah, you remember there's like a jump cut in the basement? Yeah, it's they found it. This is from last year. I wonder what happened.
Well, wait, go up. It says something about Scorsese there at the end.
Yeah. This recently unearthed footage has been released working on new restoration. Okay. No concrete plans have been announced yet.
You would think that would have been out for October.
You would have thought.
That was a year ago.
Yeah, it's all these footage. Yeah. Huh.
What's that curious case of Night of the Living Dead on home media? That was 19 hours ago. Something.
Yeah, I think this is just a whole overview. Yeah, that's the Japanese Blu-ray, and I think that's Umbrella, right? Yeah, or that's the Happy Net Japanese Blu-ray, and Umbrella, blah blah blah. It's really cheap. I think that the Happy Net. I think you can buy this for like what, $12 on Amazon or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that film, Chili Billy Cardilli passed away like a month or so ago. That's in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was so close. 2016. Yeah, July 20. Died on July 21st.
Oh, so it's been whatever 2 to 3 months ago. Yeah.
In McCandless, Pennsylvania. Man, what's going on with Dawn of the Dead? Why are we not seeing that on
there's
Blu-ray?
Like a 3D version that I think, aren't they releasing or they released something at one of the film festivals, the European cut, the Argento cut of the film or something in 4K or 3D or something?
Well, yeah, Nicholas Winding Refn has supervised he's put his name on this 4K remastering of the zombie cut, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I mean,
I thought you were going somewhere with that. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean it's
Nicholas Winding Refn.
Who the hell wants to go see? But they do have a cool poster, though. I mean, it is a cool multicolor. Like, have you seen this? The cover art? It's like Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yes.
Oh, that is kind of cool. But it's not the full fucking version. I think they're going to release it. I think it's going to be like a 4 or 5 disc set.
That'll be good. I've got the Blu-ray for Dawn of the Dead which is great. And then the Ultimate Edition DVD set, I've got that and I've kept it. But the Blu-ray for Dawn is great. But, you know, you got some people that are complaining about the color, that the zombies are like they're too blue looking or whatever rather than gray and whatever the fuck. There's always people complaining about shit. But I mean, it looks fantastic. I put it on like first time I saw the Blu-ray, I was like, holy shit, because that's my all-time favorite film. I mean, I've owned it like in multiple formats, you know, VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray. I mean, so I love the film. And then, but they do have a 3D version coming out at some point that they've been talking about. And I know that in Pensacola, they're going to be showing Dawn of the Dead for the October local like late night horror show group's going to be showing a version of Dawn of the Dead at some point this month.
Oh, I think. Sorry, I left the show for a second there.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that
back.
one of the local horror groups, they're going to be showing Dawn of the Dead in one of the theaters in Pensacola this month. But I'm not sure if it's going to be like a, you know, like whatever, like a DVD projected up on the screen or what. But I'd like to see it on the big screen again. The first time I saw Dawn of the Dead was actually on the big screen. My dad was going to take me to, he grew up watching these like Universal horror films and shit when they were making their cycle back around, like the Monster Kid age, you know, kids growing up like in the early 60s and stuff, or, you know, late 50s, whatever. And he thought that Dawn of the Dead, it was a newspaper ad at the local theater for like a midnight movie. He thought that it was just like going to be like one of these like old monster movies that he saw as a kid. So he took me to go see it when I was like 10 years old. And it turns out that obviously like once people are starting to get their flesh ripped off and zombies are like walking around and all that kind of gore was going on and shit, he realized that that was a bit of a mistake, that he had a bit of confusion there and had misunderstood that is not one of the Universal monster films. It was gore, so I got hooked by that film ever since then. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead. In fact, I rented it so much when VHS first came out that my mom and stepdad just went ahead and bought a copy of the fucking movie on VHS for me to take. And I mean, at that time, it was like, you know, probably like $80 or $90 for like a VHS cassette to like just buy it. So, but I got to see Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead. I remember how excited I was when that actually, I think Anchor Bay were the people that put it out, and it was the first time it was in widescreen that I got to see it. It was like the VHS, like double tape version, and I got to see the widescreen. I was like, oh wow, get to see extra information on the sides of the screen and stuff now. Apparently, John is having some issues there with the Hangout. Guess we'll wait and see if he pops back in here. Oh my God, Jeff Costello's in here now.
Oh no. Deviance. Let me see here.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I thank you for. I hope you were vamping while I got back into it.
Phantasm Ravager got a hold of your
for
ass.
It just got me. Phantasm Ravager is trying to get to me. Let me see here. Let's try to do this. Yeah, it just uses that. Continue. I don't know. I'm just screwing around. All right.
I think the devil's gotten into your Google Hangout.
Oh yeah, no, we're watching some. Let's watch some fucking videos, because we can watch videos on Google Hangouts, right? Let's watch some good old Phantasm Ravager.
You're still live on my end. Did you want to?
Oh, well, yeah, we're still live. What the fuck? Do it live.
Okay, that's cool.
Exactly. Fucking, that's the whole fun of it.
Yeah, pull up the review of like somebody shitting all over Ravager. I want to hear somebody go mental on it. Screen share it if you would.
Well, you're not watching it?
We'll screen share somebody else's video and watch it and comment on it.
Well, you're watching. We're watching the preview right now. Can you see it?
No, I see your avatar right now.
Oh fuck.
Screen share.
Oh, it's fucking bullshit.
Should I do it on my end?
No, it's fucking deviant. Anyway, this is evil.
Man, Ravager's like just fucked everything up.
I know. It's just, it ruins everything. Phantasm Ravager ruins everything. What?
You just went on mute and I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50-50.
Oh, wow. Epic.
What are you doing that with the muting?
Yeah. Anyway, let me, how do I do this? Anyway, let me see here.
Maybe you can like end the cast live and then just stay in the hangout and pull it up off air or something.
Okay, well hold on. I'll be right back. Just start talking about Phantasm Ravager and shit.
Shit. God damn. This cast has fucking got the sickness in it. It's been infected with the sickness.